Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Illusions of Itehari. And continuing where we left off in the prologue oh no, are we in the common route now? I think we're in the common route now. Anyway, on our way to Aoyuki's route. So, the next morning, after waking up, I left my room and quietly peered into the guest room. The young man who fell unconscious after saving me seemed to be awake already, his eyes meeting mine as I looked into the room. It is just really weird how they bob and weave. We'll get used to it eventually, but it is going to be like a little weird for a while. Oh, good, you're awake. Oh, I must have surprised you. This is my home. Thank you so much for yesterday. Who are you? Huh? And who am I and why am I here? What? I love how it's gigantic. They really wanted you to get that she's screaming loudly, but like size 72 font. What the fuck? That's fun. And so, since I wasn't able to carry you all by myself, I called for a motor coach to be sent. So that's how I ended up at your house. After he had woken up, the young man seemed to have lost his memories, not only of yesterday, but even before that as well. So interesting. Do you think he had memories before he saved us? So, like, when he's fighting Claw Kid, he, like, knows what's happening, he knows who he is, and then all of a sudden then he's like, hey, blackout. Now he forgot everything? I mean, there's always an amnesia plot, so, like, that's always on your bingo card, right? Yep. I was surprised by this unexpected situation, but after talking to Aoyuki, we decided to have breakfast and explain to him the events of yesterday. He seemed a little anxious at first, but was now listening to me with a friendly smile on his face. So, you've forgotten everything about yourself? Well, there are some things I remember after hearing Milady's explanation. I think that my name's Yashiro. Probably. Something funny about that. I'm Spacey. This is Aoyuki, my attendant. Aoyuki, don't look so scary. I don't blame him. It's hard to believe that someone could lose their memories all of a sudden. I mean, that's how amnesia works. It just comes on. As Yashiro's shoulders slumped, Aoyuki gave an annoyed sigh. It's not your memories I'm worried about so much as your familiar attitude toward my lady. Yashiro, don't mind Aoyuki. Is there anything else you're able to remember apart from your name? I can't remember anything other than my name. Not where I lived or my profession. I don't even know if I have a family. You have a sword. We know that. What about how you... Oh, I don't know why I was reading that like me. Hold up. And I was gonna read that as Yashiro. Okay, I can't. Right. I cannot read, guys. And what about how you saved Spacey? I can sort of remember vaguely what happened. There was a man attacking someone. A young woman. Milady, it seems. When I saw her about to leap from the hilltop, I hurried to pull her back. Well, now it explains why I didn't fall off the cliff. I mean, you figured someone pulled us back. I originally assumed in the very beginning he's the one that did, but then when we did it, I'm like, maybe it's the kid that's trying to kill me, dragging me back so he can kill me. I don't, you know. First assumption was Yashiro, and then... Aoyuki stared at me in silence. He's like, you forgot to mention the part about jumping off the edge. You're like, what? I mean... I said I almost died. I didn't mean just because that kid was going to stab me. I didn't tell him that I risked my life, but it was my attempt to save it. I knew I had to do something. I remember up to that point at least. But nothing apart from that. So, how are your injuries? Are you in pain? A bit. But I can move around this much without a problem. Can we just, like, look at his fabulous fucking cape? Like, even the inner lining's really cool, but then, like, before when he was posing, we'll go back, it's like, looks like it's got cool embroidery on it. Yashiro smiled as he moved his injured arm, holding the bowl in his hand. I see. I gave a sigh of relief and looked down at our breakfast. We had miso braised salmon and rice today, carefully cooked so as not to be burned. There was also spinach sautéed in soy sauce, Aoyuki's homemade pickled vegetables, and soup with a hanafu and mitsuba. I didn't feel like eating at all yesterday, but having a warm meal in front of me now is bringing my appetite back. I'm glad you didn't get hurt. See, like, look at the embroidery looking like it's fucking fabulous. I'm just saying, man. I mean, Aoyuki's vest is also like the nice brocade looking thing. I mean, attention to detail and the details. Attention to the details. This is what we've come to expect, though. Were you also scared, Yushiro? Why did you save me? There was no particular reason. I just saw you being attacked, and my body moved on its own. His distinctive eyes looked straight at me. One was a glittering amber, the other a light indigo like the sky on a clear day. I just thought I had to help. Thank you so much. You saved my life. If you hadn't come, I would have been seriously injured. No, not only that, I might have even died. And Aoyuki's like, some fucking other bastard saved her. Okay, first of all, you know his, like, little glare right now? There's like, yeah, this guy is probably a little jealous. Some other guy saved my lady, but it's also the, I'm supposed to take care of you, and I didn't. Like, it's the, I didn't do my job, but also the, I want to be the man to save you. And I'm here for both of that. You know what I mean? Listen, they're gonna let me bang my butler. It's all we don't get to! They give us hot butlers in all these games, and I don't get to date them. So it's about time. All I'm saying. Aoyuki's stern expression began to soften. Although after all these years of observing him, I somehow got the feeling that he was still in a bad mood. Yeah, 'cause some other man saved you. And he loves you, and it's adorable. Memory loss. I've read about it in stories, but I suppose it's a real thing. I'm sure experiencing a life-and-death situation could lead to a psychological shock. There may be a physical cause to it, too, like hitting your head on something. I can remember things that are common sense, like how this place is Itehari and everyone lives happily here because of the great taiju. I don't think he'll recover right away. I'm not sure what I can do for him, but I am worried. Say, Ishiro, until your memory returns, how about you stay... Spacey! I really do love when they exclaim and it's giant font. It's so funny. Well, Ishiro saved my life. His memory loss could be my fault, right? Is she gonna be one of the... Like, right now it's funny. But is she gonna be one of those annoyingly, like, simple-minded, naive ones? Like, we get a lot of that with main characters. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. And then they try to stab you. No, it's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like that when it comes to the trash love interest. And you're like, yeah, he stabbed me, but it's fine. He put me in a cage, but like, whatever. I'm here for that. But like, hi. Okay, I have more common sense than a goldfish. But sometimes our main characters have the common sense of a goldfish. Actually, I think a goldfish might have more common sense, to be fair. You know what I mean? They're just like completely... I mean, she is a little... possibly a sheltered little rich girl, so it could be why she's gonna be like naive and like kind of derpy. But like, is it gonna be like it's charming derpy, or is it gonna be like what the actual fuck I want to slap her? Like, I know a lot of people didn't like Liliana and Pio Fiore, right? But like, I feel like her being as naive and sheltered and kind of like not being able to do math. And not literally, but you know what I mean. Like, okay, girl, 2 + 2 is 4. Don't do the math. What the fuck? Like, think with your brain. Her not being able to do those things and just being a little like, whatever. She was a sheltered little church mouse. So, of course, she gonna be stupid sometimes and, like, not, have some common sense. I kind of, like... So, like, that kind of, like, explained it, and I don't think it was really... Like, I mean, I'm sure there were moments where you're like, girl, come on, you can't be that dumb. And other ones where you're like, I mean, it makes sense with her backstory. Is she gonna be like this? Or you're like, I mean, like, right now, there's nothing wrong. It's like, well, she just really, like, he can stay. Everything is great. And it's like, I'm going to need you to simmer the fuck down. She is like an overly sugared up cupcake. You know what I mean? And it's not in a bad way right now, you know? But I might get diabetes soon if she doesn't simmer down a little. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm not annoyed with her or anything, but she is very, like, cheery and optimistic. And, like, sometimes those type of characters are the naive morons, you know? And sometimes they're just cheery little cupcakes. And she could just be a cheery cupcake and see the bright side of things, even while being aware of reality, you know? But I don't know which side of that little cheery cupcake she's going to fall on. Is she going to be like, I am aware bad things exist, but I prefer to look on the bright side? Like, yes, we're in a horrible situation, but we can do this. Or like, it's fine. I mean, they're going to stab me, but whatever. Swords are shiny. Where you're like, God, you're stupid. What the fuck? Like, too dumb to function. Is she going to be like, just, look on the bright side, or too dumb to function? You know? I don't know right now. She's on that precipice where she's in the middle and you're like, she could go either way. So I don't know. She seems a little too cheery. I say that like it's a bad thing. But you know how these games usually go. When they start out cheery and like sugary sweet like this, they always end up being too naive and too dumb to function. And it's like, oh fucking, and they get to be kind of irritating. So I'm concerned about that already. Like, she's already in that super cheerful, like, it could borderline be completely naive. And it might make sense because you're like, okay, sheltered rich girl, maybe she'll get, like, and maybe it's just because, like, right now she got nothing to be, like, stressed about. I found a guy, he saved my life, I almost got stabbed, but, like, I didn't die. I was worried, but I didn't die, and, like, he's fine. Like, so, like, there's nothing wrong with it right now. It's just... it's a flag in my radar, you know what I mean? Of like, okay, is she gonna stay like on my good side? Or is she gonna be one of those characters that you're like, God, she's infuriating? You know? I don't know. Anyway, I think right now she's infuriating to Aoyuki. Anyway. Well, Ishiro saved my life. His memory loss could be my fault, right? We have to help those in need, so... No. Aoyuki gave a firm reply, turning back to Yashiro. I like that he at least has some common sense. I am grateful you saved my lady. I will of course pay you as a thanks. However, we cannot look after you. Why not? This house has its position to consider. We can't let an unfamiliar person stay here who has no memory of who he is. I mean... we have our position to consider. We don't know his situation, and that could bring trouble, because, like, what if he's evil? You know what I mean? You don't need that kind of trouble. You don't need the FBI banging down your door because you let some amnesiac stay with you, and he's like, super trouble. Not that that's going to happen, but, I mean, man has a sword. Why do you have a sword here? There's no violence. There's no crime. Why do you have a sword? Why do you need one? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do something for Yashiro, but Aoyuki was right. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't be of much help. No, it's nothing to apologize for, milady. I was the one who chose to intervene, and I'm the one who lost my memory. And now we're going to feel bad for him. And Aoyuki's like, damn it. Thank you for the meal. Yashiro finished the meal Aoyuki prepared and put his hands together in a gesture of gratitude. I'm not so cold-hearted as to just throw out the person who saved my lady's life. I can at least help you explain the, Korozuro? Oh, explain to the Korozuro what happened. Korozuro. Kurozuro. Zuru. Kurozuru. That's way too hard to say. Kurozuru. That's so fucking hard to say. Anyway. The institution that maintains public order across the city. So the cops. Got it. Cops with a K. This organization was originally meant to defend against outside invaders. Its name means black crane. Ah, Zuru is crane. Okay. I mean, I knew Kuro was black, but Well, okay, I know that in the sense of Kuro is black, but when you put it together in a single word, is it still black? I don't know. That I don't know, but I at least recognize that, but Zuru is crane. Huh, black crane. Ooh, fancy. I'll try and take care of things myself first. I can't remember anything right now, but it might just be that I'm a little disoriented. Maybe I'll remember some things eventually while walking around town. Yushiro, as I sat in frustration at not being able to help, Yushiro gazed at me and smiled gently. Don't worry about me. You let me stay the night and tended to my wounds. Even the meal. The pickled vegetables were really delicious. And Aoyuki's like, God damn it, he's buttering me up. Like these vegetables. Like, oh, thank you so much for taking such good care of me. Sorry for all the trouble. Although I do find it funny that Aoyuki's ever there. I'm just imagining it, maybe. But, like, ugh, he complimented my pickled vegetables. Damn it! Now I want to let him stay. That's all you have to do? Probably not, but... And then, still unable to remember anything, Yoshiro left the house alone. I really hope he'll be all right. It seemed Aoyuki was generous in his payment, but money wouldn't bring back his memory. I really have to do something. Oh, girl, you're gonna get yourself into more trouble. Spacey. Just as I reached the bottom of the staircase, Aoyuki called out to me, giving me a start. Yes? What is it? What's wrong? Don't do it. You don't need to trouble yourself with him anymore. But he doesn't remember anything. I can at least accompany him to the central district. So you say, though I know your real intention is to help him recover his memory. He saw right through me. As I fell silent, unable to deny his claim, Aoyuki looked at me and sighed. Don't forget what happened just yesterday. Don't go anywhere secluded where people can't see you. If he absolutely can't remember anything, bring him back here. Like, he's like, don't you dare go after him. And we're like, and he's like, I mean, fine. Didn't he just tell us not to? And now he's like, make sure people see you. He said he'd take care of things himself. And I'll go talk to the Kurozuru. 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 My brain wants to rhyme it, but it doesn't rhyme. Really? He did save you after all. Even though he gave me his permission, Aoyuki's disgruntled look suggested that he must have mixed feelings. It's clear you shouldn't involve yourself with him any further, considering your position. But I do understand that you want to help. Besides, if you end up doing everything on your own, trying to clean up that mess will be even more of a pain. Thank you, Aoyuki. You're the best! He really is. Can we fall in love with him now? Seriously, my lady always does get her way in the end. And be sure to return before the sun sets. Okay, I'm off then! Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just because this man ain't making sure, like, we go out and do stupid shit, because this man's like, she just looks at me and I let her do whatever. Man, he whipped. He's a doormat. I mean, it's nice, I get my way, but also, like, sir, you know, I might be too dumb to function. We don't know yet. Maybe you shouldn't let me go out and do stupid shit. But you're letting me go out and do stupid shit. We wouldn't really have much of a plot if I wasn't about to go do some stupid shit. Because Yoshido is, like, the, like, button that causes all the rest of the shenanigans to happen. So if we don't go after him, then the shenanigans don't happen and we don't have a game, you know? Aoyuki always looked upset whenever I brought back animals like birds and cats because he's the one taking care of it. But he never refused them and always took them in eventually. Maybe my attendant could be strict, but he really was kind. He's doing it for you. Also, I mean, poor injured animals. Be nice to them. Right, buddy? We take in birds. Well, just you. You're not wild, though. And we have to be careful with wild birds. They could be sick and get you sick, and we don't want you to get sick. But, like, good God, if we had crows around here, I'd absolutely be feeding them peanuts and stuff and making them bring us shiny stuff and befriending them. That's all we want. Just live someplace where we can befriend all the birds. Oh, there you are. Wait, Ishiro. On the street right outside the mansion, I found the person I was looking for. These backgrounds are really cool. I love the little world we live in. Huh? Oh, what's the matter, milady? I'm coming with you. You need someone to show you the way around town, right? Yashiro furrowed his brow and seemed somewhat bewildered, but quickly broke into a smile. Well, thank you, milady. To be honest, I was a bit anxious. I'm glad you came after me. I felt relieved the moment I saw you. Really? I'm glad to hear it. I just hope he's able to remember something. So, is there anything here that you recognize? No, not at all. I see. Then maybe you didn't come around here much. That's true. If I lived around here, I might have met you at some point. As we strolled through the castle district, Yashiro smiled cheerfully without any sign of worry. Want to try going somewhere with more people? We might find some of your family or friends or someone you might know. The lady... Yashiro stood still and stared at me. What is it? He had such a serious look on his face that it was making me feel anxious. I'm really grateful you're helping me out. It must be scary to be out here, considering what happened just yesterday. Well, I was surprised by what happened, but I'm all right now. Anyway, I'm sure nothing like that will happen again. Huh. Yashiro must have been much more afraid than I was, since he's the one who actually fought. He must be even more anxious on top of that, considering he can't remember anything. Also, maybe he's like, okay, that's... Again, is this us just being positive or being an idiot? I'm sure no one will try to stab me again. I mean, on one hand, you're used to your whole entire life, there's never been any kind of conflict or anything, so it would seem odd if someone tried to attack you. You'd be like, yeah, I'm sure it's not going to happen again. That was a weird one-off fluke thing, right? Like, that's not normal, you know? But also, if you lived in a perfect world where you'd never been attacked and then someone tried to attack you, would you also possibly be like, danger is everywhere! And you'd freak the fuck out? Like, a couple of weeks ago, I slipped down my stairs, so, like, for weeks afterward, although I wasn't here for a couple of weeks, but I'm like, walk carefully down the stairs because you never know if you're going to slip again. Eventually, like, you'll get over it and then, you know, whatever, but it's like, you're not like, yeah, whatever, I fell down the stairs once, it's fine. No, you know what I mean? Like, you're more cautious. You're like, careful, make sure I don't step on that stair wrong. You know? So, like, but it's not like I've ever fallen down the stairs where I live before. It was only a couple steps and I fell on my fat ass. Thank God my ass is cushioned. But you know what I mean? It's still like, what the fuck? They could still get seriously hurt. You know? Not, okay. Like, I also slipped and fell. I swear to God, what the hell? Right before vacation, my mom and I went out to lunch. Well, it was like brunch. And I walked in the place and my shoe heel slipped on their floor. And I swear to God, it was like the ice capades with how I slipped and just stumbled. I'm like, I swear to God, I think I flew across the fucking restaurant. Slammed on my knee, pulled a chair down, almost took out the damn lady who was seating us because she tried to, like, catch me or whatever. And my knee, it's been over 2 weeks, a couple days. Okay, so 2 weeks and 2 days, okay? And my knee is still, like, slightly yellow from, like, the bruising, and it still fucking hurts. And it wasn't even, like, my knee, like your kneecap. It's, like, the area right under, like, your shin. But it still hurts if you touch it. Like, that's not good. And my mom keeps being like, oh God, I hope you didn't, like, chip something. And I'm like, don't say that. I ain't go to the hospital. So I'm just going to deal with, like, a broken fucking, like, a fucking fractured bone for the rest of my life. Whatever. But, like, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to walk anywhere. Maybe in those shoes. It was the first time I wore them. So they are on my hit list. You know what I mean? I'm not getting rid of them, but I stare at them now when I come into my room. I'm like, they're Christmas shoes, so they're getting put away soon. I have not put away my Christmas shoes yet. And I'm just like, I eyeball them and I'm like, ooh, I have a love-hate relationship with you right now. But, like, that was just me falling. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, that was just an antidote of me falling on it. But you're more careful when you get up to leave. You're not like, whatever. You're like, okay, I'm going to slip on this fucking floor. And you're like walking cautiously after it happened. And I would always walk cautiously with those shoes or like, okay. Even after that, any place I went, any other shoes, I'm like, okay, let me just test the floor because you don't think that's going to happen. Eventually you get over it. But like her just got attacked yesterday and she's like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Is that just her being positive or her being stupid? I'm not really sure. And I mean, it might not even be either. It could literally just be like, that was a one-time weird scenario. Because, like, sometimes shit happens and you're like, that was a fluke. That's not normal. So, okay, it was weird, but you're not going to be stressed out about it because the chances of that ever happening again are pretty slim. Especially here, it's not like crime is rampant where you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, one more fucking thing I got to worry about, you know? So I'm not really sure if it's, you know, practical or stupid right now that she's being. I don't know, but anyway. I mean, him being more concerned about it is gonna make me question her, but he looked a bit perplexed, so I made sure to speak in a cheerful tone as I continued. I often go out on walks, and that was the first time I'd ever encountered anyone dangerous. Also, anyone dangerous in your entire existence, even without going for walks. Something like that's extremely rare since the great Taiju is always watching over us. I mean, okay, so to her point, okay, so she's like, that's just a fluke. Sure. You're right. What's peaceful in Itehari, after all? Right? Oh, we're in the Eastern Third right now. How much do you remember about the city? I know a bit about the layout, I think. Is he the Taiju? Well, he might be, you don't know. Oh, good, they're going to give us a little thing. Please let me click through it. Okay, good. At the center of Itehari is a large tree. The Fuso tree. Okay, there's a tree. Okay, cool. On its base... Oh, look! It's highlighting for you. On its base is the Forbidden Sanctum, where the great Taiju lives. Okay, so that's the center of the town. The Ryue building... beside it is the governmental office where the Connery officials are. Okay, so that's... Is that just... Well, see, the only thing that's not helping me with this diagram is like, okay, I can see the tree in the center, but is that, like... It's not like... Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the X is, but, like, I know there's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but... So, like, it's not like the Ryue is, like, in the first, or the tree's in the first ring. It's not like that's the second, and then the Kurozuru is in the second or something. Those seem, like, next to each other. I'm assuming it's just, like, there's a building here, sort of, somewhere. Okay. I'm not sure what the 4 rings are. Good, you remembered all of that. The Ryue and the Forbidden Sanctum are restricted to everyone except for a select few nobles, right? Doesn't being told not to go in make you want to see it even more? I feel the same way. I've never been in the Forbidden Sanctum either. It's interesting. Interesting. People say there's as much greenery there as there is on the surface. It sounds amazing. I'd really like to see the Forbidden Sanctum sometime. Maybe I could if I were the great Taiju's guard. I see, now it just makes me wonder if you are, or you're not the great Taiju himself. I'm just saying something sus about you, which we're not going to find out till the end. Who knows? You mean the Kinji? They're allowed in, of course, but joining them is really difficult. Kinji, the Taiju's personal retinue of guards. There might only be one nobleman every handful of years who's skilled enough in martial arts to be chosen. And we're talking to a man who knows how to wield a sword, but there's no violence around here, so what would be the purpose of knowing how to use a sword? I'm just saying. Is there a test for it? I think so, but the details on their selection process is a secret. For the most part, they seem to be picked from the most skilled of the Kurozurus Shikan. Kurozurus. It's so hard to say Kurozuru. Kurozuru. Because I want to say Kurozuru or Kurozuro. Like, I want to rhyme the words, but that's not how it works. It'll take me forever. Shikan, the general term for the Kurozuru's managerial body. Its hierarchy is divided into the ranks of general, major, lieutenant, and so on. Okay.
I see. I don't really remember much about that.
There aren't many people who know about it in the first place, so I wouldn't worry. Oh, do you remember the city divisions?
Let's see. Itehari has quite a lot of subdivisions, doesn't it?
So I'm assuming that's what's all around the inner circles. Right, 32 subdivisions in total. Okay. In the innermost districts are the Forbidden Sanctum, the Ryue, and the Kurozuru Command Center. That's the Castle District. Okay. Divisions 2 through 4 are in the Castle District. Oh, okay, those are the rings. So 1, technically Division 1, I guess, is the Forbidden Sanctum. And then 2, 3, and 4 are those other outer rings.
Where all the nobles live, right? And the area that surrounds the Castle District is the Central District, where there are a lot more shops and people.
Okay. Central District, the shopping district that surrounds the Castle District, mostly comprised of residences for ordinary citizens. To the east are divisions 5 through 9. To the west are divisions 10 through 14. To the south are divisions 15 through 19. And to the north are divisions 20 through 24. Interesting, like hours of the day. Right. I'm wondering if that has any pertinence. Why there's exactly like full 24 divisions. What? You know what I mean? Huh. So, do you remember what's outside the Central District?
The outer district. The streets are narrower and the buildings are taller.
So, okay, so yeah, everything's comprised of rings, the Castle District, then the Central District, but there's wedges inside said circle. Okay, interesting. The district of residence for ordinary citizens that lies outside of the Central District on the edge of Itehari includes divisions 25 through 32. Okay, so never mind, there's not 24, there's 32. Alright, well. But those ones look like they're rings, but obviously not. It was a relief to know that he still remembered how Itehari was laid out. I mean, this is actually like a good way to explain the city to us, is through trying to like test a man with amnesia. I'm not going to remember any of that. Well, okay, Castle's in the center, then there's Central, and then there's the whatever the outer district was called. Like, I already forgot. But you know what I mean? So, like, okay, and it's kind of like in rings.
It's a bit strange now that I think about it.
So when we were like the whatever 5th or whatever, that's our little wedge that we're kind of, I guess, responsible for? What is?
Well, Itehari manages to float in the sky. Don't you ever wonder about that, milady?
It's a goddamn giant tree house. There's a tree in the center. That's what I was wondering. I'm like, does that tree come up through the center? And are we like held up by the tree? Also, if it's a steampunky style society, if that's what we're going with, because like there's a lot of gears and things going on and steampunk-esqueness to like that, then it would make sense that there's some kind of like machine holding us up. I haven't really thought about it, but I'm sure it's because of the great Taiju's power and the Ryue's careful management. Ryue's something like that. What's wrong?
I remember hearing people speak of the great Taiju's power, but not so much about the Ryue.
I guess most people don't notice them in their daily lives. But I think everyone's able to go about their days smoothly because the Ryue does a good job of managing everything in Itehari. It's Ryue, but like Ryue. I'm sure I'm saying it kind of wrong, but like we'll all have to suffer through. The current Prime Minister, Lord Sakaki, is excellent. He's head of the Clan of Wisdom, so he knows everything. I mean, I would hope you know everything if you're head of the Clan of Wisdom. You can't be a dumbass. Clan of Wisdom, the family of noble from which generation of prime ministers have been born. They are responsible for the management of the steam infrastructure that supports Itehari. So yeah, okay, we're going with definitely a steampunk world. So okay, cool.
A clan of wisdom.
You forgot about them too? They may do things a bit differently, but they're a well-known family that's given us so many prime ministers throughout the generations. But that seems a little sus too. Like, they're always born from the Clan of Wisdom. Are you just bullshitting me now? You know what I mean? That sounds like, got some, like, kings and shit going on here. Like, oh, we're the prime minister. But that's not... They're always from the Clan of Wisdom. We call ourselves the Clan of Wisdom, so everybody is like, well, it would be stupid to take it from the Clan of Idiots. We gotta take our prime minister from the Clan of Wisdom. They know everything, and it's all just a ruse. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors. I don't trust... I don't trust the politics and the government in this world. We just got here, but it's already like, I don't know. There's a truth route, so there's some susness going on, so I'm gonna be sus everything.
Come to think of it, there are higher-ranked noble families, aren't there?
You mean the 7 houses? We are playing Mistonia's Hope along with this in tandem. If you're watching this as it goes up, and they have 5 houses there, and we have 7 houses here. I was already feeling the parallels with the noble houses and things like this, and but I wasn't going to say anything until 7 houses. That game had 5, and this one has 7. So we're going to get very confused between which houses are what.
Yeah, that's right.
It sounds like you're starting to remember some things. The highest ranked families are the top 7 in each of the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west.
So, like, the northern first or the southern second. The lower the number, the more important they are. And you're of the eastern fifth, right?
Oh, did I mention that?
This morning when we were eating, when you were explaining what happened yesterday, you mentioned that you brought me to the home of the eastern fifth.
As he spoke, he eased into a gentle smile. Okay, so the top 7. So there is like an 8th house, but they're not as powerful as the top 7, I guess. And we're like number 5, so not too bad.
In any case, I was thinking of heading somewhere with a few more people.
And then we should go to the central district.
Oh, maybe I can remember more by going somewhere more representative of Itehari.
I thought about Yoshiro's comment for a moment. Then let's go to the Ryue or the Kurozuru. Let's see. It is the Kurozuru. Now, how about we go to the Kurozuru Command Center?
I know we're supposed to look around, but I'm not sure about that.
I thought so. Huh. When we mentioned the Kurozuru at my place, you didn't seem enthusiastic about the idea. Yeah, because, he's like, I fought somebody and you want me to go to the cops? People don't fight here, so that would be bad. I thought maybe you didn't really want to get involved with the Kurozuru much.
It's not like I have anything to hide. And not that I can remember it now, even if I did. They just seem kind of scary, don't you think?
But also it's kind of like, why are you hiding from them? Not to say like, oh my god, you're bad, but it's like, but you know what I mean? You have awareness about them that tells me that there's probably something that you remember about them for some reason. But it could be a good thing or a bad, you know what I mean? Like, it could just be like, I'm hiding from them because, they're going to arrest me and that would be bad. Or it could be like, I'm the great Taiju and I ran away and they're going to stuff me back and then I don't want to go back there. You know what I mean? Like us running away from Aoyuki. I don't want him to find me because then he's going to take me home and lock me in my room because I keep causing shenanigans when I'm out on the streets. The Kurozuru was the organization that protected Itehari. It was true that some of the citizens were uncomfortable around them, so that did make sense. Maybe you're uncomfortable because you have some negative memories of them. In that case, how about we don't go inside the building, but just take a look at it from the outside?
I'd be fine with that. You're pretty smart, milady. I'm impressed.
Was it really that clever? It's a brick building. All right. We arrived at the first division where the Kurozuru command center was when we happened to see 2 soldiers coming out of the building. Do they have sprites? They do. Oh, hello. We have adorable with gorgeous eyes and hot as fuck. Hello, hot as fuck. I think adorable spoke, but like I don't know voices for but like all of the characters are beautiful, but like we don't get to date hot as fuck over there. You are the kind of you're gonna have a similar voice to Aoyuki. You would have that voice if we could bang you, but we can't. You are not a love interest. But damn he fine. Anyway. Well, that was just the same as always. Why don't I just ask him if you're so worried? I am not the most tactful. It seems I always get on his bad side whenever I open my mouth. Well, I think that's more his problem than yours. Suwabuki? Oh, which one's that? Is that hotness? The handsome officer tilted his head to the side in thought, and as he looked around, she was like the hot guy. See, even she's smart. She really is. Okay. All right, I'm going to give her points for that. Girl fucking smart. She's like the hot guy. Good on her. He caught us gazing at them, and we made eye contact and fell in love. Oh. Huh?
Milady, are those Kurozuru officers coming straight for us?
Huh? What did we do?
Maybe they're suspicious because we're skulking around the command center. Should we run?
But that would make us look even more suspicious, don't you think? Well, you sure know when I whispered frantically to each other, the two men reached us. You'd be like, we were just out for a walk and we just happened to stop. To tie my shoe. You don't have shoelaces. Yeah, that's... Why are we such a problem? Suwabuki. Heritor. Okay. I'm Suwabuki, Heritor of the Western Second. Are you in need of assistance? I mean, whatever assistance. Yes, I have a long list of things that you can assist me with, but none of them are appropriate to say right now. The heir of a family who will succeed the role as its head, usually the eldest child, although there are rare exceptions. Oh, that makes sense. Though he was still young, he currently served as the acting head of the Western Second. So, why can't we bang you? You're, like, superior to us. I will bow to your superiority, sir. Whatever. God, he's fine. I had seen him around the Ryue multiple times in the past, but this was the first time we had spoken directly. Thank you for your concern, Lord Suwabuki. I'm Spacey of the Eastern Fifth. I have no particular business to attend to. I only happen to be passing by. I see. Lord Suwabuki nodded solemnly, but I saw a faint smile on his face. He's like, I'm glad you came by. Don't do this to me unless you're going to give me a fan disc and let me date him. Because, like, don't flirt with me. Like, this is what I expect if a love interest were to pop in and be like, oh. He's like, oh, I'm sorry that you didn't have any business. And then he smirks at me with a sexy little face. Like, don't do this. I apologize for the trouble. I hope we're not too disruptive. Not at all. It's our wish that no issues occur which require our intervention. However, if you do encounter any trouble, please do not hesitate to contact us. It is kind of funny. I mean, okay, I guess it's kind of funny, but it's like, why do you need cops if there's no trouble? But at the same time, you would need cops just in case, because even if this world is peaceful, there's no trouble. What if there ever is? I mean, unless you have never, ever, 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 ever in the history of ever, you lived on some Star Trek planet, never knew what violence or anything ever was, you would never think to have anyone to mitigate that kind of thing, right? But obviously, we live in a peaceful little community here, right? On our little floating bubble in the sky. But we knew that would be like now if we live in a peaceful community, but we built this peaceful community, but we know that we built it based off of and we know that in the past there was violence and corruption and all this crazy shit that existed in human history. Okay? You would still be like, just in case some motherfuckers get some kind of crazy idea to start robbing people or beating people, we gotta have somebody that's here just in case. You know what I mean? So you would have people to maintain the peace, you know, because you can't trust people. So, I mean, fair enough, but it is weird. It's like, if we are a peaceful society and we don't have any violence, why do we got cops? But if we don't got cops, how do we make sure? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a circle, but anyway. I promise to do everything in my power to resolve it. Lucky you, especially hearing that from Lord Suwabuki. Oh? Goes without saying that you won't find anyone better than the youngest ever major of the Kurozuru. Even I'd go to Lord Suwabuki with my problems. I really don't want anything to do with my own superior outside of work. I'm sorry to put such a burden on you, Aijiro. If anything happens with him, I can deal with it. Ha! No way! That'd make him angrier than anything, I'll bet. If you intervene, we'd all get the brunt of his anger, so let's save that as a last resort. I see. Lord Suwabuki nodded, then gave me a courteous bow. Lady Spacey, it's been an honor. I hate to part, but we must be on our way. I hate to part too, but the game won't let me bang you, so I guess we're never going to actually fully come together, and that's a huge disappointment. There's always the side character you want to bang. Listen, this game is going to let me bang my butler, so I can't be too mad about it, but a little bit disappointed is fair enough when you put this dessert in front of me and you won't let me partake. Yes, of course. Thank you very much for your kindness. And he smirked at me as he left. Well, we'll be off. The young man named Aijiro followed Lord Suwabuki, and we were left alone again. Are you okay, Yoshiro?
Yeah, I just kept quiet and held my breath. My memory's full of gaps, so who knows if I could have offended them in some way. The other guy said he was a major. Isn't it a huge accomplishment to be promoted to a major at such a young age?
It really is. I heard General Karatachi doesn't just make decisions based on family background, but on their abilities as well. Wait. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wait till we get there. I don't know what Karatachi looks like, but Karatachi is Jun Fukuyama. I remember when that popped up and I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. I had to pull it up in the guide. Yes. Ooh. Ah! So I'm excited about that. That's the other character that I'm sad we can't bang. I don't even give a fuck what he looks like. He's got the voice of the man I love, so whatever. I hadn't come face to face with him many times, but he was a very unique individual. Sorry. There's something funny about that. He's a unique individual, and I feel like, yeah, that tracks. Okay. I'm sure there are, like, in the Venn diagram of characters Jun Fukuyama has voiced, there are probably ones that fall outside of unique individuals, but I feel like a lot of them fall into that, and I feel like, yes, that makes sense. If they described and they're like, so this character, he's a very unique individual. Oh, I know exactly who to call for that. Like, it tracks, it really does. Oh my god. Some people said he was eccentric, but he didn't seem to pay such comments any mind. Yeah, I feel like he's very good at unique, eccentric individuals. After that, we arrived at the Central District, having made no particular progress.
Well, I'm not surprised I can't remember much. Thank you for accompanying me, milady.
You're really okay with letting it go? You sure are brave, Yoshiro.
There's really nothing I can do about it. My memories won't come back if I worry too much. Is that strange? Would it be more natural to worry about it?
I think most people would be a bit more panicked. But I don't think it's a bad thing that you're feeling calm. Stressing out about it might do more harm than good.
Well, maybe I'll try worrying a little. I do want to get my memories back soon.
I wasn't sure that intentionally trying to worry was the right idea, though.
Now that I think of it, you seem to have an idea that I'm a commoner.
Huh?
How can that be? I don't even remember who I am myself.
Well, I just kind of figured you were by the way you're dressed. I think you lived in the Central District, or maybe even the Outer District. You don't seem to be a noble. The materials used in your clothing, even the patterns on the fabric, you can get an idea from looking at all that, right?
Huh?
But you have very polite manners while eating, so I think you've been taught some etiquette. Okay, Bird, do you need a break? You're being a dick right now. He's like giving me give me attention, and then he's biting me. Okay, I can't get up. I almost fell over. Almost fell back into my damn chair trying to get up. Oh, I gotta get a new desk chair because the one I'm using, I've been home sitting in that chair for like 3 days. Not even. You gotta go potties? I ain't waiting around forever, thank you. Is like, it was my great grandfather's fucking chair. It's wood. It hurts so bad. And I'm like, I think this is why my hip hurts. Because, like, 2 days back home, and I'm like, my hip hurts so fucking bad. It's gotta be that damn chair. Oh my god, I need a new one. I need to get a nice fancy gaming chair, even though that's not what I'd be using that for work. Because, like, I don't set my computer up down on that. You know what I mean? Like, but it's making my hip hurt to the point where sitting in my cushy, fun reading chair, used to be my reading chair, it's now my gaming chair upstairs. It's a big, normal living room chair type of a thing. That it's making my hip hurt sitting here, and I don't like that. I always liked this chair. I don't want this chair to hurt me. Anyway. So even though you might not be a noble, you may be from a wealthy merchant family or something.
That's impressive, milady. You're very observant.
However, considering how big the city was, that wasn't enough to figure out his identity. I guess this will be more than a single day of work. Let's look around a bit more, and if we don't find anything before evening, how about we go back to my house?
Huh? No, that's all right. You've already been so much help at accompanying me this far. I'm grateful. You should head back before the sun goes down, milady. I'll figure things out somehow, so...
No, I can't just leave you. You don't even have a place to stay tonight, do you? I mean, that's valid. It's like, if he doesn't remember anything, how does he know where he lives? It's not like we found a wallet and we're like, here's your address, at least you have a house. You don't know. You know what I mean? So, I guess there's got to be like... Well, that's even that. You're like, there could be like a hotel or an inn. Why would you have hotels or inns? Because everybody has a house here. Like, it's not like visitors come here. It's a shut-in society. So there'd be no reason to have inns. Would there? Huh.
You're too kind, milady.
To be honest, even Aoyuki told me to bring you back if you couldn't manage to remember anything. I mean, seriously, otherwise you're going to be sleeping on the streets. He doesn't look happy about that. Aoyuki was pretty cold to him this morning. Is Yashiro scared of him? I was trying to be nice, but if that bothered Yashiro, I couldn't force it. What should I do? Oh, that's it. I know just the person to go to in a time like this.
A person you can go to.
A friend of mine who does all sorts of odd jobs. Ah, other boyfriend. He's a really skilled arcanist for his main job, though he's a bit stubborn and doesn't like people much.
Stubborn and doesn't like people, huh? Are you sure about this?
He's actually a kind person at heart. He's just on the reserved side and a little shy. Just the other day he was talking about being desperate for more help and... What are you doing? Ah! CG of new boyfriend? Yeah. CG of new boyfriend. Look, he's even got little steampunk goggles. I suddenly felt a hand on my shoulder and found myself being pulled backward. Though I was surprised to hear his voice, I recognized it instantly. There he is. Suyakusa, yeah. Who are you? He glared at Yashiro with scarlet eyes. You're acting too close and familiar with her. Can you back off already? His wavy, candy-colored hair tickled me as it brushed against my cheek. Candy-colored! That's a nice way of saying that. Because, he's blonde, obviously, but it's like a yellowy blonde. So, like, in The Sims, that'd be cheese hair. So he's candy-colored instead of cheese. He was just the person to help us. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Why she's all pale and ghostly, kind of like Aoyuki. Is he my butler brother? Is he my brother? Seriously? Are you gonna throw, because game, I don't care. Everything about this could be the most utter garbage ever. Could be the worst game ever. If you let me bang my butler and then you tell me he's actually my brother, all sins would be forgiven. 27 out of 10. Best game ever. All I'm saying. Okay? I'm just saying. Like, that would put you in the top tier. Like, it doesn't matter how bad everything. That is enough. Also, Jun Fukuyama's in this game, so that's enough to get you top tier regardless. But, I mean, it might be like, okay, I mean, like, if I could date him, then, like, but you could. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just like, whatever. Oh, how far we have fallen. He was just the person to help us. Perfect timing. I actually really need your help right now, Suikusa.
Milady, is this a friend of yours?
I told you to step back.
I see you get to be as close as you want.
Yushiro, he's the one I was telling you about. The friend of mine who can do anything. Suikusa. I'm sure we're not supposed to say it like that, but you know, whatever. Anyway, Suikusa, this is Yushiro. He saved my life. I know you're just worried about me, but he's not being a bother, okay? It's kind of like, because I know that sometimes you're not supposed to pronounce the U, but it's really hard to say Suyakusa. No, Suyakusa. You can't say the K without the U and the, like, my brain just can't pronounce that like that, so I can't smoosh it with that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. Suyakusa seemed to understand. He gave a small sigh and took a step away from me. Like, that's a fabulous outfit. You got, like, the coat is so, like, I'm a mechanic, but mixed with the purple and then the goggles and everything. And he's got that resting bitch face. Like oh God, whatever. I'm sick of this shit. Anyway, Suikusa, sorry to bring this up out of nowhere, but don't want to hear it. You know I always want to help out with anything you need, Spacey. But I got a bad feeling about this. A really bad one. It's alright. I'm pretty sure that this is probably good for you too. Huh? To explain the situation further, we headed to the 6th Division in the Central District. There, we stepped into his shop. Hangitsudo, I think. I explained how Yushiro saved me. That after the shock of the event, he lost his memory and didn't have a place to stay for the night. After hearing all that... No. What? Suikusa's swift rejection caught me by surprise. Why? Why not? I did say we were short on staff. But I meant that it'd be helpful if you came by whenever you had free time, Spacey. You're my friend, Suikusa. And I do like machinery, so of course I'll help out when I can. You know, I'm just props to her if she's, like, mechanically inclined. But the family work is keeping me busier than usual nowadays. I can't help all the time.
You work, milady.
I do. I still can't handle everything on my own, but I'm still the head of my family.
Then, what sort of work do you do?
Heads of noble families oversee their territories. You don't even remember that?
No, it's not so much that I forgot. It's just unexpected.
Wait, do I give off the impression that I'm unemployed? Well, it's not like every noble family takes their work seriously.
Yeah, isn't it hard to rule over a territory?
Ruling over anything sounds like an exaggeration. It's more like managing things. The more prestigious the noble family, the more people's lives they had to work to protect.
I just can't imagine it. That has to be really difficult.
Yeah, it's tough and it keeps you busy. I'm proud of you for working hard. Thanks, Suikusa. Like, he looks so cold and aloof and sad, but he's sweet.
What sort of work do you do, Suikusa? I hear you're an arcanist and a handyman.
What business is it of yours? I'd really like it if you told him. Anything you could share might help bring back his memory. I seriously have zero motivation for this. Seeing me plead to him, Suikusa gave a tired smile. Fine, whatever.
Sorry about this.
As you should be. So the jobs that Hangitsudo picks up are generally divided into 2 types. One of which is arcanist work. Construction and repairs both bring in money, but it's rare to be asked to build something from scratch. And machinery just costs a lot to begin with. Depending on what it is, the cost of parts alone is enough to keep someone fed for a while. Huh. Nothing so far seemed to jog Yoshiro's memory, and he simply nodded in a vague way. It'd be a huge loss for the client if they paid in advance and the contractor made off with the machine. And that's why repair jobs pay afterward. Meaning it takes time for the money to actually come in. And that's why in order to pay the bills during that time, I take on odd jobs. And that's the second type of work I do. Sometimes I find and pick up stray cats. When that happens, I ask Suyakusa for help in finding their owners. And now you're picking up stray people, huh? I mean, that's what we've been saying all along, so... Naoyuki said the same thing. It was painful to hear. Suyakusa really helps with everything, like making deliveries, standing in line to buy snacks, looking for lost items, standing in line to buy snacks. Can you hold my place in line? I'll give you $5. Like, those jobs don't pay much, so it doesn't really help with business. I'd rather stay focused working on machinery, but it's getting harder now to turn down requests for help from people in the neighborhood. Suyakusa, I think it'd be great if Yoshiro helped you out with those odd jobs.
Yeah, I could take over and earn some pocket change at the same time.
No, I said I'm not. But then you'll be able to focus on what you really love, right? He's like, damn it. No, it's fine. I'm better off working alone. Can't have someone else hanging around. I see. I thought it was a good idea, but I couldn't force him to agree with it. Well, Yoshiro, I know you might not like it, but it looks like you'll have to come home with me. Huh? He's gonna... I was like, the second she said that, he's gonna be like, no, wait, he can stay here and I want him home with you. Something in Suyakusa's voice changed. I love the fact that we have childhood friendo, I guess, who was like, fuck no, a man's not going home with you. And Aoyuki's like, fuck no, you ain't bringing no man in my house. Like, we got two jealous childhood friend kind of scenarios going on here. Home? You mean your home, Spacey? Yeah, that's right. There's no way Aoyuki would allow that. But he did. Are you serious? Yep. I didn't specify exactly what he did. What Aoyuki actually said was that he would go talk to the Kurozuru, not that he would let Yoshiro stay indefinitely. I'm not lying, right? Right. It's just, I think Yoshiro's a bit uncomfortable around Aoyuki. So I thought it'd be better if there was somewhere else he could stay and help out. Fine. What's fine? If some guy you don't know would have to stay at your place, Spacey, it'd be way better to let him stay here. Really? Okay, I like the fact that... Okay, all right. Every once in a while, I do question, as we said before, is she being naive or is whatever? But now she's being a little manipulative with the, he's just going to have to come home with me. And they're like, hell no, he can stay here. What? Oh, golly gee, you're so nice. She just manipulated him into it. So I'm okay with her playing naive and a little derpy to get her way with shit. That's kind of funny. So I'm here for this. This is funny. I really, really don't want to do this, but some sacrifices are necessary. Thank you, Suyakusa. Isn't that great news, Yoshiro?
Yeah, I'm happy to see how happy you are for me, milady. Thank you.
Before getting any happier, how about thanking me for agreeing to this?
I am thankful, of course. Though I do feel bad for making you look after me when you don't want anyone around. I'm very grateful. I hope we'll get along, Suyakusa.
This is my shop, so what I say is law. Also, no touching any of the equipment. Although Suyakusa started listing all the things Yoshiro couldn't do at Hangitsudo, it means he really is serious about letting Yoshiro stay. Suyakusa continued with a scowl on his face while Yoshiro and I listened with smiles. Alright, that's a perfect place to end it. So, already nearing sundown, but we're not. We're going to go home later. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.